On July 13th, 14 adults and 14 youth from St. Matthias and St. Bartholomews Episcopal Churches left from O'Hare Airport on a pilgrimage to Ireland. This pilgrimage was made possible by the hard work and donations of many members of both churches. We would like to thank all those who supported us. A pilgrimage is a different undertaking than a vacation or a mission trip. While the point of a vacation is relaxation and the point of a mission trip is service, the point of a pilgrimage is spiritual development. During a pilgrimage, the pilgrim visits places of interest from the Bible or from Christian history and allows themselves to be immersed in that part of our sacred story. A pilgrimage includes significant time for reflection, meditation, and prayer. By doing so, the pilgrim takes on the story as their own and becomes more connected to the Christian tradition. In Ireland, we encountered the remains of the Celtic Church, an ancient church whose founding stretches back to the 300s and has had significant impact on the Anglican, Roman Catholic, and Presbyterian churches in Ireland, England, and Scotland. On the eve of Easter in 433, St. Patrick, an English Christian who had once been a slave in Ireland but had now returned as a missionary bishop, lit a fire on a hill near Tara, the seat of the ancient High Kings of Ireland. The Druids, the holy men of the pre-Christian religion, bade the king to put out the fire, otherwise they predicted it would grow to consume all of Ireland. And grow it did. Christianity took hold in Ireland quickly. Many speculate that since the pre-Christian religion of Ireland already had a concept of a dying God and a Trinity, the adoption was easier. Here, 3 of our pilgrims portray the pre-Christian Celtic Trinity, which was feminine and represented the 3 stages of life: the maiden, the woman, and the elderly woman, who was highly respected for her wisdom. Due to the rural nature of the land, Christianity in Ireland was based around monasteries, which were centers of learning for all kinds of knowledge. Many of these monasteries featured the famous Celtic high crosses, which portrayed scenes from the Bible and Christian history and served as teaching tools in an illiterate culture. The Christianity that developed in Ireland was one that differed from that on the continent of Europe, but was always considered part of the greater Christian Church. One difference was its respect for the pre-Christian tradition that preceded it. Whereas on the continent the rise of Christianity often meant the destruction of pagan art, music, and holy places, the Celtic Christians were more likely to adopt and Christianize them. The story of St. Bridget of Kildare is an example. Bridget was the daughter of a slave and a nobleman who was fostered in the household of a Druid. After hearing St. Patrick's preaching, she dedicated her life to God and became a foundress of many monasteries throughout Ireland, including one that had both men and women as members. The legend says that when the bishop went to lay hands on her to make her an abbess, the page in his book was mistakenly opened to one for a bishop, so that she was ordained as a bishop and continued to function as one until the end of her days. This is symbolized by the crozier in her right hand in the picture. The fire in her left hand symbolizes the sacred fire that she and her nuns kept burning in their firehouse in Kildare, a pre-Christian fire that Bridget declared represented the light of Christ, which had always been in the world. To this day, it is considered dangerous for men to set foot inside the remains of the firehouse. She also built her monasteries at sites of wells, which had been sites of healing for thousands of years. This well, which bears her name, is a popular place for prayers for children. Bridget illustrates another important difference between Celtic and continental Christianity, the expanded role of women. Women served as abbesses, deacons, possibly a bishop in the case of Bridget, and may have served as priests. In any case, the retention of feminine aspects of God and the role of women in the church was unusual for the time. We spent most of our time at the ancient monastic site of Glendalough. Glendalough is another one of those places that had been considered holy by the pre-Christian Irish. In the 6th century, St. Kevin, who was a monk at another monastery to the south, came to Glendalough to meditate in silence and peace. He chose the place because of its remoteness and rugged terrain. It is amazingly beautiful. People seeking spiritual guidance eventually found him, and monks and nuns came to build a community around his teaching. These buildings are from the monastery in around the 11th century. One of Kevin's most famous stories is that of him and the blackbird. Kevin was accustomed to standing with his arms outstretched as he prayed. His hut was too small to accommodate this, so he held one hand out the window. A blackbird came on the first day of Lent and built its nest in his outstretched hand. Legend says that he stood there with his hands outstretched until Easter, when the fledglings had hatched and left the nest. This story illustrates another difference between Celtic and continental Christianity. Whereas with continental saints, the only saint you really think of with a major connection to nature is St. Francis, all of the Celtic saints have legends around them that speak of the value, reverence, and care placed on nature in the Irish tradition. If we were to try to recreate Irish Celtic Christianity in modern America, it would be a poor fit. But we can learn lessons for ourselves whenever we encounter another enculturated form of Christianity. Our experience with Celtic Christianity on the pilgrimage raised issues of stewardship and respect of nature, the equality of men and women, the value of sacred story, the need for Christian community, and the importance of looking where the light of Christ might be found in our own culture. We were led by two men of great faith, Marcus, who is an Anglican Church of Ireland priest, and Kevin, who is a Roman Catholic spiritual guide. They ensured that we received a lot of time for quiet and meditation, as well as opportunities for prayer. We hope that this presentation has given you at least a small taste of an incredibly rich experience that really goes beyond words. We return changed. Some of our insights may come to us years from now, but there's no doubt of the pilgrimage's influence. Our lives of faith have been deepened by it. On behalf of the youth and adults of St. Matthias and St. Bart's that went on the pilgrimage, we would like to thank you again for helping us to act on this opportunity, and hope that you will continue to support the work of our combined youth groups as we grow in Christ together.